Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Carlos. I'm a facilitator at our community outreach program. I want to welcome everybody to Free Minds on the Same Page Right Night, a mutual exchange of hope and healing between incarcerated poets in the community. And again, welcome to Right Night. This is our first Right Night of the year of 2024. And with that, I'm gonna also say Happy New Year's. Our featured poet ambassadors tonight are Free Minds member Quenten and Umar, in conversation with my co-host, Ms. Keela, our Free Minds amazing reentry manager. I want to extend a warm welcome to our returning right nighters and to any new volunteers that are here for the first time tonight. We also have Free Minds members who are home in the community joining us. Please post in the chat where you're joining us from and if this is your first right night, or if you have attended a Free Minds event before. Also, before you leave a comment, make sure you click on everybody. That way, we all get to see what you have to say. Our conversation, our incarcerated poets will be thrilled to know how many community members are supporting them and what city and states and countries are here. Here's how it's gonna go tonight. We will have a conversation with Quinn and Umar, and we will have a chance to answer any of your questions until about 7:25 Eastern. Please put any questions you have in the chat or in the Q&A button below at any time. Then we will share some quick tips on how to use our platform Miro to give some poetry feedback, and we will be all joined on the same page. Now we'll turn it over to Keela, who will introduce our poet ambassadors tonight.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's so wonderful to be here with you tonight hosting. And I want to welcome all of our wonderful Right Night volunteers. This is our first Right Night of 2024. And we're so excited. We're going to be celebrating our 20th year anniversary all year long. Again, welcome everyone who's joining us, everywhere you're joining us from. Welcome to this strong Right Night community. And now I have the best job here, and that's introducing our wonderful poet ambassadors. So I'm just going to read their bios. For Quenten, Quenten is a Free Minds poet ambassador who joined Free Minds in 2017 while he was incarcerated. During his 27 years of incarceration, he obtained both his associate's degree in biblical studies and his bachelor's degree in religious studies. After returning home in 2020, Quenten attended and graduated from the Prison Cells to PhD program, which provides educational and career counseling to incarcerated and formerly incarcerated men and women. He now serves as a program mentor. It's so fitting for him. Quenten also volunteers at ACTS. It's a nonprofit that provides support for people in need of shelter, food, and other basic needs. He also works full-time as an HVAC technician and is a college student at Northern Virginia Community College, majoring in social science and pursuing his certification as a substance abuse rehabilitation counselor. Quenten's work has been published in the Free Minds anthology, When You Hear Me, You Hear Us, Voices on Youth Incarceration, and he recently published his autobiography, Alchemism of Quenten. Pain Gives Birth to Purpose. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and welcome, Quenten. And Umar. Umar has been a Free Minds member since 2021 and was released from prison in August 2023 under the Incarcerated Reduction Amendment Act. He was incarcerated at the age of 17 and was originally sentenced to life in prison. Umar is an avid reader, especially loving history and nonfiction books, and he received his GED while incarcerated. Umar received his Associates of Arts degree from Southwest Virginia Community College, graduating magna cum laude with a 3.96 GPA. Let me get that right. 3.98 GPA, excuse me. And attended the University of Florida while incarcerated, earning a culinary arts degree and becoming a certified sous chef. He also is a prolific writer. Since coming home, Umar has participated in Free Minds outreach events as a poet ambassador, completed our Free Minds job readiness and personal skill building apprenticeship program, and has worked as an advocate on behalf of those currently and formerly incarcerated. Umar hopes to continue to raise awareness in society about the experiences of all incarcerated people. Thanks, Quenten and Umar, for all that you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Turn it back over to you, Carlos.
Thank you, Miss Keela. And I don't think I ever shared this with you, Miss Keela, because it is an honor to be here with you and share this space, right? The very first mail that I got was signed by you and Julia, right?
Wow.
And on top of that, it's like you and Julia were the first people that I met in person for Free Mind when I went back to DC jail. So it's like an honor to be here with you too. So
Wow.
thank you for
Thank
being here
you.
tonight, Miss Keela. And thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you, Quentin and Umar, for being here tonight as well.
Pleasure,
Now
my
to get started, let's
pleasure.
start with you, Quentin. You have a poem that you want to share with us that's written by yourself. Can we start with that?
Okay, okay. This poem here is called Legacy by me. I wrote it in 2017. It goes like this. A legacy is the story you give the world of all the experience that you went through. It's grown through the struggles and storms you endured, the product of the past which will forever define you. A story continually unfolding that stretches through time, transmitting from one generation to the next, this journey we call life in one's mind. It has the ability to teach, inspire, and change lives. A legacy like pure matter will never die. 30 to 50 years from now, it won't matter if your intentions were hollow. What will matter is what you did of value that will shine like a beacon of light for other generations to follow. Peace, legacy.
That was powerful. That was powerful, Quentin, man. I have to ask you, like, tell me a little bit about what inspired you to write that poem, because that poem has so much power behind it.
I think at the time when I wrote it back in 2017, I had a deep conversation with a couple of brothers on my tier. We was talking about, the legacy we wanted to leave for those outside, to give them hope, to let them know that we didn't allow this system to take control of us, to bring us down, to destroy us mentally or psychologically or even spiritually or physically. So it was like, I'm going to make this time, this 27 years matter. I want to go out there and I want to show them that it doesn't matter, the mistakes you made in life, where you fall. It's about, did you get up, how you finished the race. So the legacy I want to lead the people through this and my actions is that you can persevere. It's about redemption. It's about overcoming, any and all obstacles in life.
That's a powerful title too, legacy. Not only like just knowing you, right? That I've gotten the privilege to know you through this virtual platform, right? It's like you're for the people kind of
Yeah.
person, you know what I mean? And it goes hand in hand with everything about you. Let me ask you something else though. What role do you think peer support and community connections can have in creating change or building that kind of legacy?
Peer support as far as when you return to society or while you're incarcerated?
Both, like
Both. I
whatever,
mean, peer
however that
support
looks.
is vital. I think it's very important. It's the lifeline for people, for returning citizens and those who are still incarcerated, to have somebody reach out and know that someone cares about you, that you matter. You're just not a number, to anybody outside, that they give you hope and inspire you to want to change for the better, to know that there is hope, for a better life, that you can overcome and you can persevere through the most inhumane conditions,
Mhm.
and that, I think that's what's most important. We let people know that, hey, we got somebody that's out here that's waiting on you, that's got your back. I mean, it's going to be your safety net. You're not alone. That you don't, even though it could be scary coming out here, but we got you. I mean, we've been there. We understand. We understand you. That's what's really most important. That we understand what you're going through, and we got you.
No question. And another thing that, like I said, like gotten to know you through this virtual platform where we got to like share our stories like with
Hmm.
the community, right?
Right.
And as Free Minds, as poet ambassadors in Free Minds, like we represent like the fellows, our fellow members that are not here, that are still behind the wall, who can't be here tonight, but whose words are with us.
Right.
So I know you have picked another poem to share by a Free Minds member named Sam. Can you read that for us?
Okay, my pleasure. I picked this poem right here. It's called My Story by Sam O. it touched me when I read it the first time. So here it goes. I am worth more than my present situation and what I've been through. I can do anything I put my mind to. I know people love and care about me and are in my corner and have learned life is not as bad as it seems. And it does get better. I believe things will work out for me. I care about people and seeing them keeping going and not quitting. I am good at singing and encouraging others, even when I'm weak. People love me because I care about them and never judge, no matter what they've done or tell me. When people see me, they think I was given things to get where I am today and that I have it all together. They don't know that I keep waking up because there is still hope and I want to help the next person. The best thing about me is I have a heart of gold and continuously strive for perfection. One day, I will be known all over the world for great accomplishments. People will remember my name because I am destined for greatness and God has a plan for me. I am worth loving despite my mistakes. My life is worth living and my story is still being written. That was a powerful piece there.
Beautifully read too. So let me ask you real quick, because you said like this poem stuck out to you. Can you tell us how?
I connected with it because this was a lot of the thoughts that were going through my head when I was out. That within myself, I lost myself to find myself. And this person, I see myself in this writing that he's like, he sings, he says he sings, he loves people, he has worth, self-worth, that he's of value, you know what I mean? And that he's gonna make it. When he get back out, he's gonna be great. He's set goals for himself. He's not allowing the mistakes of the past to define who he is. He's gonna overcome all that regardless of the odds, and that people are gonna know him and know that, look, in spite of everything that happened to me, I'm still here and I changed, and you can change for the better. And it's a story, and I think I feel like it's a poem of redemption, and perseverance. That's why I connected to it so much. And those are things that pushed me to get out and do what I'm doing now.
And I'm glad you touched on that sharing your story part, right? What does that mean to you to share your story?
Share my story? You talking about the book I wrote?
No, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I'm gonna put a plug on it. This is the book right here. It's called The Alchemism of Quitting. This is my book here. This is my baby. This is a labor of love. Alchemism of Quitting. It's about, I'm giving back. I feel like, it's a story. When you're telling your story, it's a journey. It's a journey of discovery. It's a journey of redemption, forgiveness, reconciliation, all these things, and doing away with demons in your life. That's what you're doing, to answer your question. And you just let somebody, if I can connect, somebody can see themselves in my journey and what I've been through,
And like I said, you've been doing this. I know you've been doing this with me for a while, sharing your story, and we're grateful for that because I believe it takes courage, right? And not only like have you shared it like with just free minds, but now you're taking it a step further to share it with the world. And I hope that your story helps somebody else heal. So I thank you, Quenten, for being here tonight, for sharing everything, for sharing your poetry, and just sharing your essence with us, man. I appreciate you being here.
It's a pleasure, Carlos.
Yeah, now let me turn it over to my co-host Keela, who will be in conversation with Umar.
Thank you, Carlos and Quentin. Congratulations, Quentin, again. I love to cover that book.
Thank you.
And Umar, thank you, Umar. So would you now do us the honors of sharing one of your original poems with us, Umar?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening to everyone. My name is Umar, and I begin by sharing a poem that I wrote in February 2023 called What I Wish School Taught Me. School didn't teach me how to be a man, but school did teach me how to interact with others. School didn't teach me how to respect others, but school did teach me how to respect time. It was at the age of 30 that I learned to respect boundaries. It was at grandma's house that I learned what empathy is. It was my mother who taught me how to love. It was the streets that taught me to trust no one. I wish school taught me ancestral history. I wish school taught me long-term ramifications for my actions. If I were a school, I would teach the students conflict resolution. If I were a school, I would be open 24 hours a day. If I were a school, I would provide food, shelter, and clothing.
Thank you so much, Umar. Well, one of the questions I would like to start off asking, what was the inspiration behind that poem when you first wrote it? I know it was one of your original.
Well, I was reading one of the Free Mind Connect magazines, and it had like certain prompts that were in there that you can basically fill in the blank. And my thing is education. I'm a big proponent of education. I wish I was a big proponent of education before I became incarcerated. However, throughout my years in incarceration, I became a big proponent of education. So I really wanted to speak on something that would resonate not only with my peers, but maybe with a younger group of guys. You know what I mean? Because you know, well, I say it here. School didn't teach me how to respect others, but school did teach me how to respect time. Well, school didn't really teach me how to respect others, but it taught me how to respect time because everything is almost in school. Things are almost similar to prison. It's ran on a 24-hour clock. You know, so I just wanted to speak to things that may resonate with school age kids, but at the same time, things that will resonate with my peers also.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. That was very powerful and very enlightening. Now, so thank you for sharing. We picked out another poem by one of our other incarcerated members, Shahid. Would you please read that for us, please? It's called
Yes,
Resilience.
yes. The name of this poem is Resilience by Abdul Shahid. It says, when faced with a challenge, I overcame it. When I want to give up, I keep pushing. When things are hard, I remain patient. I am resilient because I can adapt to any situation. I am strong because only the strong survive their conditions. I can withstand anything because my experiences and upbringing taught me to. When I am focused and aware of my conditions and surroundings, I am resilient.
Thank you. And although another member wrote that, I would say definitely just listen to the poem that you just read, that you too are resilient. I think all of you are resilient. Carlos, Quentin, all of you guys. Thank you so much, Umar. That was very powerful. All the poems you've heard tonight, folks, will be on the poetry boards for you to respond to. Now I'll return it back over to Carlos, who I know has a question for all of you here tonight. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Keela. So Umar and Quentin, both of y'all are gifted poets, have written poetry, have sent it in. So a question that I have for you both. First of all, how important is it to receive mail while inside? Quentin, we can start with you, Quentin.
I'll make it short. It's very important, for lack of a better word. It's almost vital because when you receive a response back from, say, a poem, it does something to you. It empowers you. It motivates you. You know what I mean? It inspires you to write more because like somebody recognize you and they care. You know, when they write back and comment about certain words you use and your metaphors and all that. So it's just, it gives a person, it's a lifeline. It gives somebody hope. Basically.
Is there like a comment or something that sticks out to you from something that you got back that resonated with you for a while?
Oh yeah, one of my first poems. Somebody wrote, "Quenten, you matter." And when they said that, they almost brought tears out. I thought about it when I went back to the cell and I was reading all the different comments, but the one that stuck out was the most. They told me, Quenten, keep doing what you're doing because you matter. And I was like, and it reinforced how I felt about myself. Yeah, and I said, yeah, I do matter, and people recognize that. So I am someone. I do matter, and everybody who's returning citizen, who's out there, who's struggling, you do matter. Never give up. Always look for the bright side of things. Yeah, you're gonna go through the ups and downs. That's how life is, but never give up. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And that's a beautiful connection to Umar. That same question. How important is it to receive mail while inside?
Uh, I would say it's vitally important. Uh, you know, if I could be candid, uh, it can be life or death in a high hyper vigilant environment, like the penitentiaries around the United States. Mail is fresh air to people. Because we all look forward to it because the only thing that we have in there is the same guys that we see for years and years and years and years and years. This is not like going to work, and you see your colleagues for 5 or 6 hours, and then you go home, and then you go on a vacation, and then you come back and you tell them about a vacation. These are a group of guys that you see every day. If you have a life sentence, these are the same group of guys that you see every day for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. So
Mhm.
everything that they is here can be talked about. Y'all have already talked about. So you're looking for a breath of fresh air. That's why I say I equated to fresh air. But also I say that it can be the difference between life and death because if someone doesn't get mail and is constantly expecting mail, well, this dude is on edge. This
Yeah.
dude is on edge. He might be looking for a letter from his wife or from his mom or something like that, and he don't get it. So it's vitally important.
Man, thank you for saying that. And I like how you said that, like just fresh air, and like
Mhm.
it can't be
Yeah, I
said
like
any
that.
better, man. That was beautifully put. Umar, what tips or advice do you have for the new right nighters that are here with us tonight as volunteers, as they give the poetry feedback?
I would just, I would encourage everybody to first of all embrace what it is that you're doing. Don't do it because your friend is doing it or because somebody said that, oh, let's do this act of charity. No, do this because this is something that you feel you want
Mm-hmm.
to do. Did you want to make a difference in somebody else's life? Because I promise you and I guarantee you, you will make a difference in somebody else's life with your feedback
Mhm.
simply by just being a participant, simply by reading poetry, simply by responding to it. You'll make a difference in somebody's life
Mm-hmm.
because you got a lot of people that in prison environments that actually have given up all hope. And if I could just be frank for a minute, I had a life sentence.
Mm-hmm.
I did 30 years in prison. What if I would have gave up hope? And there's
Mm-hmm.
organizations like Free Minds, the one organization that I can put my full forced my stamp of approval on Free
Yeah.
Minds because they did not give up. Even when they didn't hear from me, they didn't give up. They
Mm-hmm.
were consistent. They were resilient. The organization was resilient. So it's vitally important that if you're going to do this, don't just do it as an act of charity. Do it or let it become something that really resonates with you, knowing that you are changing somebody's life, knowing you making somebody else's life better. And that also will help make your life better.
Thank you, Umar. And Quentin, tips or advice for the new night riders tonight?
Mm. Really, it's hard to piggyback on what Umar said because he touched on everything for real. But to reiterate, it's vital. It's tips. Be authentic. Like I say, you don't know whose life you're going to change, whose life you may save within. Me and Umar are living proof that when people reach out, brings out the best in people, brings out the best in you. I can't, express it enough.
Mhm.
Just be that person, do it from the heart, inspire that person, encourage it. I guarantee you're gonna gain more than what you give, trust me, in what you're
Mhm.
doing.
That's right. Thank you, Quentin. Thank you, Umar, for adding that advice to Miss Keela. Do we have any questions?
Let me check the Q&A section and I will let you know in a second. Yes, we do have one question for Quentin and one for Umar. The first question reads, how are you able to write your book with all that you are doing? How long did it take?
Hmm. It took a minute. I almost had it completed by I started writing maybe the last year or two of my incarceration. Everybody was asking me when I'm going to write this book. But I really completed it like last year. And yeah, it took me about 4 years altogether, put off and on, with school and work and everything. But I said it was time. Everybody kept asking about it. So it took me a little bit, about 4 years.
So you started before you were released, correct?
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And then the other question is for Umar. Can you share how you were able to gain access to education while you were in prison? Is it easy to take classes?
For me, it was. And the reason why I say for me, it was because it's what I wanted. Education has to be something that you want. You could go to prison and don't do nothing. You could go to prison and run around on the yard all day. You go to prison and sit up and watch TV all day. You go to prison and be goofy and be a fool all day. Or you can go to prison and say, I want to be a better person and I want to make something out of my life. And I know that the only way that I can be a better person is if I educate myself, if I read books, if I read the dictionary, if I learn what a thesaurus is and read a thesaurus so that I can be a part of a conversation that most people can't be a part of. I want to be able to understand. I don't want people talking over my head. I want to be able to understand. So education was a cakewalk for me because I sorted out.
Thanks, Umar. We do have one more question. And this is just a general question. If I want to write letters to people who are incarcerated, what would be a good way to go about that? Carlos, can you take?
Yeah, I would say join our letters writer circle.
I was going to say the same thing, Carlos. Our letter writer circle. Yeah.
Even though, just for clarification, it's not like a pen pal thing, you know what I mean? So it's just like you'll just get like a random letter and answer it, so you won't answer or correspond with the same person each time. I just want to say that just for clarification. But join us at our letter writer circle. It should be in our website when our next one is. It skipped my mind right now, but definitely join us for our letter writer circle.
I think Tara just put something in the chat about it. Yeah.
So yes, thank you for that, and thank you for Umar, Quentin. Definitely again. Let me say this also, thank you everybody for joining us tonight one more time. I'm going to show you some quick tips and tricks on how to use our digital whiteboard called Miro for poetry feedback. And first, before I mention that, sorry, it's a couple ways to get involved. Another couple ways to get involved. There's a coalition called Building Community, Not Prisons, working to prevent Congress from funding another federal prison. To join the movement to stop FCI lecture from being built, click the link in the chat. If you want to support our work, you can donate to help us welcome more incarcerated and formerly incarcerated members into the Free Minds family. You could also head to the link in the chat for more information. You already know that every little bit helps, even if it's $1. That's just enough to send either poems or any kind of letters back to our members. So please feel free to click our links. So now for our Miro tips. Um, so just to make sure that everybody knows how to maneuver around Miro, there's only 5 things that you need to remember. One, the arrow that opens the door is gonna let you start writing. You could enlarge the poems with the zoom button at the bottom right of the screen. Wait a second if it's blurry, and then it will come clear. The T up top on the left is T for text, and if you click on it and then click on the poem, and then just you could just start typing like a normal text. You could scroll to the right or to the bottom, and make sure you hit the undo button if you don't like it at the bottom left. And then finally, make sure you start the poem with the first name that you see and end with a first name. That's just to keep it like on a one-on-one friendly basis. There are 3 Miro tables on each, and each one of them has poems. So make sure you click on all of them and enjoy all of them. On the first page here on the Miro table also has links to access to the other tables. Miro works best from the computer or tablet. But if you're using your phone, we recommend using this Google document that we have put right here for you. That link will also be in the chat, and it is here for you in the first on the first page. and the mirror table as well. If you have any questions or need support, you can call our staff until about 8:30 p.m. And the number is also right here, and we will also put it in the chat. Thank you all for coming. Please click the link in the chat to read the poems on our virtual tables and continue with the next part of our Right Night event. Please enjoy the poems, and we look forward to seeing you on our next Right Night. Sorry, we will be closing it soon momentarily. Please make sure that you click on the link and have access to all the boards. And again, we thank you again for being here. Thank you, Ms. Keela. Thank you, Umar. Thank you, Quenten.
Thank you,
Thank
Carlos,
you, Carlos.
Umar, and Quentin. Thank you.
Thank
It's
you,
been a
Keela.
pleasure.
Hey,
Have a
everybody.
great night,
Appreciate
everybody.
that.
It's always a pleasure.